Hello, it's Blue Orange 22. So I want to make a video on a story that's happening about Jordan Peterson. This is the headline, this is the article. Jordan Peterson film sparks threats. We really don't want to have to bring out the guillotine. Now, this story is happening about a movie about Jordan Peterson. And for those of you who don't know, Jordan Peterson is a controversial speaker. He is a psychologist. And in the last few years, he started talking about politics and social justice and gender and men's rights and feminism and everything else in between. And he has sparked a lot of controversy, and a lot of people accuse him of being, right winger, alt right, sexist, a racist, and as you'll see in this article, a fascist. Now, I don't agree with everything Jordan Peterson says, but I've watched a lot of his interviews, and he is none of those things at all. He is not a sexist, he's not a racist, and he's definitely not a fascist, but just take a look at what's been going on here. This is a quote from this article. I put the link in the description below. Several community organizations, this was a letter that was sent to some movie theaters that wanted to show his film. Sorry about the noise in the background, they're doing construction. This was a letter that was sent to the movie theater that was going to show his new movie. And it said, several community organizations are planning to shut down your showing of the Jordan Peterson propaganda film. While many of us aren't Christian, and some of us flat out condemn the religion, it's because it was being shown at a church, I think, we do not want to harm, we don't want any harm to come to your place of worship or those within. However, we cannot allow fascism to continue and rise, and will not tolerate its presence in our city, whether it is on the streets or on the waterfront or in a church. Read some history books, read about eugenics, read about sex and gender, and then compare it to Peterson. Pray on it if you must. Do the right thing. As much as we joke about it, we really don't want to have to bring out the guillotine to fix society. Now, this is an extremely disturbing message. Think about that last line. We don't want to bring out the guillotine to fix society, which is basically implying the threat of violence. Now, anyone who's watched a Jordan Peterson interview knows that this is completely ridiculous. I put some links to Jordan Peterson's interviews with Joe Rogan in the description. Watch them and, listen to what he says and ask yourself, you may not agree with everything that he says, but really ask yourself, is this person a Nazi? Is this person a fascist? Is this person a racist or a sexist? And he's not at all. But now people are threatened for trying to show his movies. A movie theater is threatened just for showing his work, just for showing a movie. And it's not even Jordan Peterson making the movie. And they're getting what's basically a veiled death threat. I mean, they say, oh, we don't want any harm to come to your place. But then that last line about the guillotine, what do you think that implies? And to me, this is very disturbing, because if Jordan Peterson really was a fascist or a Nazi, I would kind of understand. But the thing is he's not at all. Like, if you watch his videos, he doesn't say anything at all that's racist or sexist or fascist or like a Nazi. This letter, this threat, is fascism. It's trying to shut down free speech with a threat of violence. And the worst part about that is, it's not even true. If someone was trying to shut down an actual Nazi, I wouldn't have that much of a problem with it. I mean, yeah, free speech, I get that. But if it was someone who was actually a Nazi or actually a fascist, I would kind of understand. But the thing is, Jordan Peterson is not that. And I don't agree with everything Jordan Peterson says. He says some things about feminism and gender and politics that I agree with, but I don't agree with everything that he says. And Jordan Peterson is not an MRA. And a lot of people associate Jordan Peterson with the men's rights movement, and that's not totally true. But what bothers me here is how anybody who says anything that goes against social justice or the modern day feminist movement in any way that doesn't totally align with their exact definitions and their exact positions, they're attacked as being a fascist. They're attacked as being a racist or a sexist. Like, you're not allowed to disagree at all, or you get called a racist or a sexist or a Nazi. And the fact that movie theaters are actually threatened, they actually get letters like this. And you'll see in the article, you'll see in the article linked below, that the movie theaters actually pulled the movie. They actually canceled the showing because of this letter. So this letter actually affected what people were able to see. It actually changed the information that was available. And it was done with a threat of violence. And I don't care what they say, but talking about a guillotine is definitely a threat of violence. So read the article and then watch the videos. I put some links of Jordan Peterson talking to Joe Rogan, and listen to what he says. And I don't agree with everything that he says, and you may not either. But when you listen to him, really ask yourself, is this person, is he really a fascist? Is he really a Nazi? Is he really a racist? Is he really a sexist? Because he's really not. But the fact that this happens, and the fact that this actually works, the fact that movie theaters actually change what they're going to show people, is very concerning in my opinion.